lady sent me an email. By the way, if you're watching this for the first time, this is story time. Story time is basically a segment where people send me their stories to my email address, foodchannel1960@gmail.com. You know, my channel is pretty eclectic. We talk about everything and anything that affects, everyday life. So the lady sent me an email, and she basically said a few years ago, before she met her now husband, right? Her ex, they met at some house party and stuff through a friend of a friend. They met each other and stuff. So they started dating, and then eventually the relationship came to an end, ended acrimoniously. So they went their separate ways. But as you know, some relationships, they end, and some people, they still sort of like, we live in the age of social media. They still kind of like, keep tabs on the ex, or some people even still got their exes on their phones and their contact list and all that stuff. So anyway, fast forward to later on, she met her now husband, right? She's married with 2 kids, and they started dating and all that. I suppose it went well, and then they decided to, get married. And then as she moved through her career ladder, she then got a new role. She said at the top, this is prior to the first lockdown, maybe like a contract role, I suspect. The job came to an end, so she then moved somewhere else and then got another job. So after settling in, about few days to settling in, whilst usual stuff, they're trying to set up your emails, your passes and things like that when you start a new job, she then discovered that the project team that she'll be working alongside and supporting, her ex-partner, who apparently she dated for like 3, close to 4 years, happened to be one of the top guys who she will be reporting to, like her line manager type thing. So it's like, oh wow, hi, okay, a bit awkward at first. Yeah, hello, oh wow, you work here? I just started. Usual stuff, right? Anyways, she didn't tell her husband, didn't mention it at home. She carried on working. So she said in the email that she wasn't trying to hide anything, but at the same time, she didn't want to trigger her husband by saying, oh, my ex that I mentioned before happened to be the line manager at the new place of work. She didn't want him to have any headache and all that stuff. That made sense for a bit. So she carried on working. And so she said there was a night, like an evening on a weekend. She was sat on the couch. Husband was watching something on Netflix. She wasn't really interested in what he was watching on Netflix, so she was getting text messages. So she put her phone on the table and had gone to make herself a drink or something. And then these messaging started coming. No, make a drink, and then went into the toilet. So husband just said, babe, shouted out, you're getting these frequent message and stuff, and the alerts would normally sit, bang, bang, depending on your settings, would sit on your home screen if it's a typical iPhone, right? And so I suppose the nature of the snippets of the messages on the screen must have made the husband go, huh? So, and then she said the message that sort of led to sort of like an argument, of course, was, hey babes, what are you doing? It was great, catching up with you on Thursday and stuff. I thought you would be able to come out today. I know a good place where we can have dinner. It's a new Greek restaurant, blah, 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 blah. Their food is really good, blah, blah. So the husband thought, what the? So she came out, and you can imagine, like, yo, who is this? And then she said she tried to say to him, look, this is what, so I think that forced her hand. She had to confess and said, oh, this, I don't know, not my doing. My ex, he works at my place. So husband went, and okay, fair enough. So why are you going out having meals with him if there is nothing else? So she then said, oh, the argument was, when you've known someone, you then cannot pretend like you don't know them. Sorry, what? Fair enough. You know someone, you cannot pretend like you don't know them, but how does that translate to going out for meals? Anyway, let me crack on. So she said it was just the guy, I think the restaurant nearby to where they work, the guy just said, oh, let's go have lunch and all that. I'll pay for it, and just to catch up. Just to catch up. So then she said her husband got triggered and said, okay, but you never mentioned it though. You hid it from me, right? It's okay to catch up with your ex. It's okay to go set up and have lunch, right? So the husband said he didn't believe her and said he wanted to see the rest of the messages and stuff like that. And then, she was like, oh, it's my phone. I don't have to show you my phone. So it became a big argument. She then caved in, and apparently from those recent series of messages, the guy had indicated in there that he had planted, like, oh, it was nice giving you this couple of kisses, but probably pecked her on the cheeks. Man. So very rightly so, you can understand that the husband will explode. Like, what? 1 minute ago, you were basically telling me it was nothing, it was just lunch, it was catching up. And she said that what happened was when they were leaving the restaurant, they were walking down, oh, she didn't know he pulled her to himself, and oh baby, I really missed you. Well, she didn't say that, that's just me being extra. But fair enough. Let me stop right there. It's absolutely possible that somebody might maybe just wanted to hug out, like, all right, nice to meet you, have a nice day or something, and the person just kind of ducks in and might be a little bit cheeky, sneaky, planted something on your neck to send a message into your brain that, we can still make the plowing of the sugar walls, possible if you're interested type thing. It's a behavioral pattern of exes, still trying to see if they can hit it. But anyway, my point here is she may not have known, fair enough. And that exacerbated the argument with her husband, like, wow. And of course, you protect your own territory. This is my wife, this is my woman, some ex you met at your new place of work. I understand it's not your, how do I know that you've not even been talking to him in the background, maybe on Facebook, and then he asked you to apply to his current place of work, and she said she got angry that, wow, why are you making that up? When people are angry, they could think of 1,001 possibilities. But then he said, okay, fair enough. So you had gone on lunch with this person. So what happened to, oh, hi, and stuff, and keep the person at a distance and just be professional at the workplace, and you go in and out, do your job, and go back home. But you had to go sit down with him, enjoy lunch, blah, 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 blah. Now, if you're following this, you probably think, okay, maybe, she's kind of like did wrong by not telling her husband. Maybe she didn't want to tell him, not to cause unnecessary headache. That's kind of reasonable, right? And then she said, they kind of talked about that, left a bit of a crack, serious friction, understandably so, right? 2 months down the line, the dude at work, ex-partner, then showed up and gave her some children's, shopping clothing that he had bought from some, like, as she said, expensive stores. And then it was like, this, I think one of our children, it was one of our, she had 2 boys, one of the boys' birthday was forthcoming. So he then took it upon himself. And please, don't forget, these ex is actually married. Is already married, as she highlighted. He had gone out of his way and did this expensive shopping, shoes, clothing. Wait, first of all, this is why this mess does not add up for me. First of all, Okay, you got 2 kids. Maybe you must have said, oh, my firstborn is 7-year-old, my second is 5-year-old. I'm talking hypothetically because I'm thinking, how did he even know their shoe sizes? Because she said she bought them really expensive 2 pair of shoes each, right? Clothing. So you must have shared details about your children. Do you see? So this woman is doing so much to try to conceal the lies and stuff. Long and short, she took the shopping home and then said, he said, he bought these for the children. I didn't ask him. So the husband said, what? And you dare to bring this to my house? And she said, her reply was, I'm not going to throw it away just because you don't like it. It's not connected to anything. She gave the kids, at the end of the day, it's just a gift. So this woman is latching onto, the husband said, go and give them back. She said she doesn't see anything wrong because it's not like he bought her undies or a dress, blah, blah, blah. He just bought things for her children and that's that. She doesn't see the need to return them. Wow. So, as it stands, completely blew things out of proportion, led to a massive argument. So husband concluded that she is shagging that guy, sleeping with that guy. He wasn't having it anymore. So the whole thing just went from 0 to 100 pretty much. And she said her husband is moved out. He's basically wants to collapse the whole marriage, like, because he believes she's mugging him off. So, and then she said, oh, she has a friend who's a professional in human psychology, blah, 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 all that nonsense, who's saying he's overreacting. When men take things to that level, it means he might also be hiding something. Sorry, what kind of psychologist will say that? If not for a psychologist who might be clearly neck deep in misandry and want to absolutely obliterate your marriage, all right, for our own gratification or something. So she then said, oh, Phrankleen, you as a man, I know you try not to be biased on your show. What do you think? My husband, I believe he's overreacting. The total amount spent on those shopping, when I checked the tags and them online, is roughly £400. What kind of a married man spends, what man do you know? Oh yeah, he's your ex. He decides, he randomly just takes interest in another man's children that are not his children, chooses to spend roughly £400 on another man's children. And you want me to see that as a normal behavior? Like, oh, he hasn't got any hidden interest. He's not just trying to slide into your sugar walls. And you take that gesture and you want to impose it on your husband in your current marriage. And you are asking Phrankleen that, do I not think your husband is overreacting? No, it's not. If you want to take that kind of a stand, let me tell you, man, I'm going to give it to you straight and end this. If you want to take that kind of a stand in that relationship, you don't deserve to be in that relationship, kids or not. If that brother decides for that reason, for the display of that type of foolishness, I think he deserves to walk away from you. That's just the way I see it. These kind of women are crazy. I'm sorry, absolutely nuts. I don't get it, man. This is why I keep saying this issue of relationship. Why can't you just simplify the processes and make your life hassle-free? Just maybe you still have some interest for that ex. He's actually gone to marry another woman. He's got his own family now. Some women do that though. You get with somebody else maybe just because your body clock is ticking, just because everybody else is settling, and then you see that ex, your eyes lit up, and then you're basically just, for no reason, you're having lunch, you're communicating, sending raunchy texts to another man, and you wonder why the brother is crazy. And then you're asking me that, do I not think your husband is overreacting? How is he overreacting? This is the height of disrespect. Anyway, I'm going to carry on ranting. What do you think? Join the conversation below. It's your boy Phrankleen. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you want to support my channel, you can join my Patreon for as little as $4.99 a month. You can join my channel membership. You can support via PayPal or Cash App. All the details are in the description below. What do you think? Let's keep that conversation going on, man. This is crazy. It's your boy Phrankleen. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.